Vale, gente, bienvenidos a un nuevo vídeo y bienvenidos a un gym tour con vuestro padre Cbum. O sea, Chris Bumstead. Es que no, su nombre no sé pronunciarlo bien, soy así de manguán. Así que vamos a verlo y a ver qué tiene el papi.
Because I'm crazy like that. One of them, they are carrying old school quad extension over here. It's a
Ojito,
little bit more, it's a lot lighter, but it feels a little bit better, more contracted on my quads. So that's something I'll do at the end of workouts, supersets, drop sets, stuff like that. But when I need to go really heavy, this prime plate loading machine
Sí, vamos, lo que dice que es para las patas y que puedes hacer drop set, super series y lo que te salga del pepino, vamos, así resumido.
is the absolute best because you can stack like 500 pounds on there and just get after it. And then from there, I have two different hamstring curls. I have a seated and a lying. Again, I really like a lot of prime stuff, especially the plate loaded pieces. So I have this lying plate loaded ham curl where you can change the tension curve, whether you need it at the bottom or the top.
Sí, una de femoral tumbado ahí de puta madre.
And this has been one of my favorite ones to use for a long time. Also this pre-core seated one.
¿Qué es un Camaro es ese eso, tío? La Virgen Santa.
One right here. Can't change the tension curve on it at all like this, but it's still really good to have the same one at Revive Gym, which is down the street. But I like it, so I bought the same one. Next, a few things. I was trying to be efficient with space. I could have fit more equipment in here, but I wanted it to feel open and like a real gym rather than just cramming equipment into a storage area. So I got this abductor-adductor combo, the Cybex Eagle. They don't make the same one anymore, but this is the best
Llevamos un aductor.
combo one. Typically you get two separate pieces and they work better, but this one actually works really good for adduction and abduction. So I like this a lot. You can just switch the thing around, move the handle, the seat goes all the way back or forward, whatever you need to get more
El cabrón tiene mejores máquinas que yo en el gimnasio. No me jodas.
glute, more adductors, so it feels really good. I also have this sled, which I have only used like 3 times in my life, but knees over toes guy said this is good for your knees, so my knees ever get fucked up, I have it on deck. Seated calf machine, super simple. Fucking love seated calves.
Sí,
This
sí.
is
Lo que ha dicho, que máquinas súper simples. Eso lo he entendido yo. Mi nivel de inglés, vamos, es otra vaina, ¿sabes?
something I never had at one of my gyms. This is the Gym Leco piece right here, but a tibia machine. I've been doing this a lot more just to help
Una máquina de gemelos. Ojito,
overall calf development. Also really good for your knees to have really strong tibias as well as calves, so very important. I got a little preacher curl station right here. Nothing needs to be explained about that. It is what it is.
Sí,
Also strategically by the bay door, I have all my dumbbells over here, a couple benches scattered around, and I purposely have 5-pound
Sí, vamos, que tiene hasta 150 libras. Que es que en kilos ahora mismo mi calculadora, la cabeza no funciona, ¿vale? Serán 60 o 70 o más o menos.
increments all the way up to 50 pounds, and then when I get over 50 I get to 60, and then it goes up by 10 because I typically don't do 115s or 120s.
Sí, vamos, lo que has dicho, que esa parte es para maricas, que solo la usa para calentar. Y la otra parte es para hombres.
25s or
Así
anything like
resumido.
that. If you ask Justin, he'd give me shit for that because he wants to go up by 2.5-pound increments, so he's trying to get me dumbbells that are a little bit smaller increments. But you know what? Fuck that. We're trying to be a jacked. I'm just kidding. I'm probably going to actually change that. But for the time being, I just wanted to use heavier weight and didn't need to cluster more dumbbells that I didn't need. So I went up by 10 pounds instead of 5. Also, very important to the gym.
Sí, 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 importante, importante. El Camaro es ese, vamos, ese es el más importante del gimnasio. Menudo bicho, que me lleva 19 o 20. Pero es increíble.
Can't have a gym without a 1969 LS3 powered
Chuco, ojalá poder entrenar yo en mi gimnasio propio con un Porsche, ¿vale? O sea, hostia.
Chevrolet Camaro sitting in the middle. Stick shift, of course. But this is where I store it right now. Should probably move it because it's a little unsafe.
Sí, vamos, lo que dice que es su bebé, básicamente.
Right here, get covered in dust, but I don't have room in my garage right now, so it is what it is. Cable machines. I have 2 different styles. I have the, I don't even know what you call these. What the fuck are these things called
¿Y
again?
esto
Everyone
para qué
has a
coño
different
es?
name for them. Multi-purpose, arm-moving cable functional machine. Essentially, you can go up, down, out, and in.
Vale.
This Nautilus one and the Prime one are the 2 best ones. This is the one I got, the Nautilus one.
Es una multi de otro universo. Esta no la vais a ver en vuestro gimnasio en la puta vida, yo creo. O
And
sí.
it lets you do like bicep curls, flies, whatever you want. I have a bench in front, and you can adjust it, the width and the angle of it, just a little bit easier than the 8-stack. But you still need an 8-stack cable machine. So I have this beautiful thing over here. Funny story, sad, very sad news. Someone took my car.
Hostia, ojito el apaño que tiene aquí. La Virgen.
I put it in first gear. I leave it in neutral because it's flat ground in here. And I put my foot on the clutch, turned it on, stepped out of it, and it launched. And I fucked up the whole bench and the bottom of my car right here. So this whole machine is a little twisted because I crashed my car into it.
Digamos que también tiene cruce poleas, unos jalones que veo por ahí. Tiene dos, por si acaso. Está ocupa uno. Y sí, tiene, la verdad que está bastante interesante esta parte, ¿eh? Está bastante interesante.
It was a really sad day, but it still works. All I did was lose a bench and a spot to put my decline, so it is what it is.
Lo que no entiendo es esto. ¿Por qué lo tiene así puesto? Como no es inglés, pues no sé lo que cojones dice ahora mismo, así que...
Nothing else really special over here. There's no AC in this gym, so I have all these big ass fans that have incline or flat.
Tiene aquí una jaula para hacer sus squats tan ricamente. Bueno, aquí también puede hacer un poco de tríceps, dominadas, tal. Está bien.
Bench press. So if I were to ever do flat, close grip, whatever, I'll just put a bench in here. I want it to be really functional with my space. And I don't really flat bench ever, so I didn't want to have that in here. Then arm machines. I don't have a lot of arm machines. This is currently the only tricep machine. It's a dip Atlantis piece. This machine is really fucking good. It feels great, but it's a little bit too light. So I have a gym pin. I think I have my gym pins on the cable machine right now, but I put a gym pin in there to make it a little bit heavier and it feels great.
Coño.
I think I have another like overhead extension Atlantis one that ordered.
Esto es para tríceps, coño. Si eres un normal. Máquina para tríceps. De otro mundo. Esta es de otro mundo, Atlantis.
Forever ago and just taken fucking year to deliver. It is what it is. I got a Gym Leco bicep curl here. This one feels really fucking good, but if you have long arms, you lose a lot of the tension at the top of it, so I have to sit up at the top. If I do two hands sitting up higher, it feels absolutely amazing.
¿Qué coño? ¿Esto es para bíceps? Uy, la puta madre.
I really like that. Got the OG hammer strength here. You guys all have seen that at the gym. Preacher curl plate loaded. T-bar, back.
Un remo aquí en T. Este también lo tengo en mi gimnasio, pero tiene pinta de ser más cómodo este, la verdad. Claro.
Back row, I think, is one of the most crucial back pieces for back pieces. Bent over rows are great, but sometimes your lower back is just taxed. And if you're really trying to isolate your back instead of hips, hip hinge, getting all that out of there, this machine is incredible for it. This Gym Leco piece is good for tall people at least, and I really like this one. It works great. I have no idea how to organize all this, but I'll just be moving on this line. This piece right here, the Star Trek machine, I'd never tried this before, but I was looking for...
Aquí tiene un remo libre. Es un poco... yo creo que esto un poquito ortopédico es, Bueno. Es ortopédico. El color me gusta, ojito.
Flex leverage, horizontal row, just like this. Also the Prime plate loaded one is really good. I'm still trying to get the Prime one, but this is similar to the flex leverage one. It's an old school one. I'd never tried before, but Dorian super pullover machine. This is one
super pullover machine. Me cago en la puta.
The OG ones you see in Dorian Yates Blood and Guts, and this was one that I absolutely wanted in this gym. Whether or not I used it enough, which I have been using a lot, I needed this in my gym because Dorian Yates had it, and he's one of the fucking goats. So it's really cool. These old chain-driven machines, I'm a huge fan of. They just look old school and rough and tough, and they feel great. They just don't make machines like they used to. I feel like they used to have like engineers and physiotherapists, kinesiologists building machines, and they all worked so good.
Si has llegado a esta parte del vídeo, suscríbete. Que es darle un botón. Venga, dale ya. Prosigamos con el vídeo.
I used to fucking love all the old machines. This machine, I honestly barely use, so I'm going to skip for that one. Panada. There's a few Panada pieces I love, a few not so much. This is one of the ones I love a lot. You can switch your grip from pretty much pronated to supinated, semi-supinated, semi-pronated.
Sí, pronador, supinador. Ya lo conocéis. Para la espalda. Para espalda. Muy buena máquina, Me cago en la mar.
Right into the perfect spot. Gets heavy as shit real quick. So I'm a huge fan of this one. I'm going to actually be doing this today after this video. Then I have a low supinated grip here. One of these machines I can lie out front.
También esta.
Hit different angles.
Esta me gusta bastante, la verdad. Ojalá tener una de estas en mi gimnasio, cojones.
I don't have a crazy amount of machines, but I really tried to make sure that I was getting different angles, different movements. So I have a high row. One is one of the pure iron.
¿Esto es para pecho?
So Pure Muscle is not called Pure Iron
Sí,
anymore.
para
I don't know what
pecho.
it's called, but Pure Muscle is trying to build their own equipment, and this is one of the pieces they sent me, and it is fucking incredible. They're the piece in the back here
venga, se me ha ido la
that most
mierda.
machines don't have,
Vale, así.
and it's like it's just a little slat in there that slides in or out, so you can either do unilateral or bilateral. I typically have it separate because my shoulders are really uneven. Make sure I have the same weight on each arm. Feels really good, incline chest. And it's slightly converging. So most machines you kind of come out and push out here, whereas the actual movement of the
Esta máquina es como si fuera un press inclinado neutro, más o menos. Más o menos. Esta la he usado yo más o menos en otro gimnasio. Bueno, no tiene punto de comparación, pero era parecida. Está guay.
pec is to bring the elbow across the body, so this one forces you to do that like a dumbbell, and it feels really good. Huge fan of this one. Another machine from Star Trek, the blue machines, that I had requested to get a flex leverage piece, and they were like, try this one out, we can get this one. I tried it.
Esta es la zona tetas, no jodas.
Absolutely loved it. It's the same concept, it's converging, so instead of pushing out, gripping, which the more you kind of grip, pull it from here, your bicep,
Coño, una máquina para antebrazos.
forearm,
¿Qué va?
shoulders will be
No,
more
esto,
engaged.
esto para, dice que también vale para antebrazos, creo. Y para aperturas.
You just put the pads on your elbows and you squeeze the shit out of it. I
Pectoral fly, tu pectoral va a volar.
got a 10-degree incline one and a 45-degree incline one. I superset them because why not? Again, these are pretty OG. This one's chain driven. You don't see a lot of these ever, but I
Chico, tiene unas máquinas muy raras, de verdad, yo me perdería.
pretty much strictly been using these for chest flies. I barely even use the pec deck anymore, so I'm a huge fan of these. From there, I'd been slacking on training shoulders lately for whatever reason. But another prime plate loaded machine. I like the prime plate loaded machines a lot. This one's really good. It's a little bit of a
Hombro,
wider
vale.
grip, and it pushes
Es un press de hombro, ¿vale? Para que me entendáis.
you straight up
Vale,
instead
vale,
of
vale.
forward and close. So it's not, you're not as strong in this, but engages a little bit more tricep.
Este es
Feels a
otro.
little bit stronger like that. But they're two completely different presses. Again, I try not to have copycat equipment having the same shit in here. Then I got a pec deck. Like I said, I haven't been using this a lot for pecs even, but I'm sure I will soon. And I've been using it for rear delts a little bit every now and then.
Ah,
And
coño.
then
Tiene un pec deck ahí. Cojones.
moving on to the leg and stuff. Got a Cybex hack squat. On hack squats, the
Sí, una multi para hacer pierna. Está, joder, está de puta madre,
only thing this one's missing is it doesn't go all the way to, what? What did I call it? I call it a hack squat? Oh, I don't know what the fuck I'm saying anymore. Smith machine, the only downfall is that's as low as it goes.
Tiene una pinta de ir tan suave eso que madre mía.
So I have to stand on something if I want to do RDLs. But I really like the straight up and down ones. A lot of Smith machines are angled, and I do not like that. Cybex one's really smooth, straight up and down, so I'm a huge fan of that one. Again, in the, I don't know, in the era of efficiency, I wanted a standing calf raise, and I also wanted a Viking press. This Panada machine turns into
¿Esto qué coño es?
both. So you can either stand here and press, or you can get underneath,
Hostia, una jaca. Rara, pero es una jaca. Yo ahí no llego, soy chiquitín.
put your hands on there, and do calves. So good standing calf machine. I've been using it more so for calves than I have shoulders.
Vale, no es problema
but
de mi ordenador.
great machine for both.
Problema del vídeo.
This machine, there's a lot of debate on what people think is the best belt squat. I don't give a fuck what anyone says. This is my favorite one. I've tried so many. This is the
Se llama Jesús Favorita. Esta te coges, te pones un cinturón y haces sentadillas, creo que es.
first one I ever tried. I love belt squats, and I didn't see one for like 6 years, and I just hated belt squats. I was like, I don't know why I used to love it, and it was because I really liked this machine. I started squatting really narrow and doing everything really narrow for a while because my hips were getting tight, and I just thought it would help my quads, and it wasn't. My sweep was kind of going away, and then last year, Justin,
Sí.
a huge believer in these in terms of lower back strength, hamstring strength, all that good stuff. So I've been using this a little bit. He's gonna
Sí, vamos, si tienes ahí dos prensas ahí horizontales, sí, está bien. Y con raíles, otra libre. Allí tienen un press y ya está. Si es que tampoco tiene mucho más. Tiene gran cosa. Más cosas, digo. O sea, tiene mazo de cosas el cabrón, Te lo digo, vamos, pero voy a adelantarlo.
last year Olympia prep. This is the
Esta no me
machine I
gusta.
started with.
No me gusta
Pretty
nada.
much every leg day, my entire Olympia prep, I stacked it up and I was getting up to like 20 reps and it would just destroy my
Sí,
legs.
ah, coño, esta es otra prensa rara,
That
extraña
thing
de
helped me
esas.
win this Olympia for sure. Absolutely. Especially with a fucked up lat when I couldn't hold a lot of things. This machine, haven't used a whole lot yet.
Esta es otra prensa rara, creía que era un press por esto, pero soy un normal, no. No, esta es otra prensa más.
Just because I was such a big fan of these leg presses, but it's a newer piece. Also from Pure Muscle, one of their experiments